Hello and welcome back. Thank you for joining us for another session of My Marriage is Not Perfect. I am not a relationship guru, but what I do know is what I know about my own marriage. And I just thought I would take a few moments to share some nuggets with you. And you can watch the series of videos and you grab one nugget that works. That works for me, that I have succeeded in my purpose. So you could take this information and apply it to your current relationship or the relationship that you endeavor to have. And today we are talking about avoid making major decisions without consulting your partner. This is an interesting one because, the big thing is money. Now, my husband and I didn't have this problem. We kind of talked about certain things and we made a decision. And if I made a decision about something, he was typically okay with it. But if it was something major, we would have a conversation. So just briefly, when we talk about money, as long as you and your spouse have an agreed upon amount that you can spend up to without consulting that person, then that's okay. So if your limit is $100, if it's $500, if it's $1,000, whatever your monetary threshold may be, just as long as there's a conversation, then that's fine. But when you want to talk about major decisions, I'll share with you one that my husband did during the course of our marriage. He made a decision. He had got with some people and they had a business prospect and was launching a business. And I kind of knew about it. I knew that there were some things happening. There was some buzzings going around, and we did have conversations about what our next steps would be, employment wise. But I was at work one day and my husband walked into my office and he had this big, I'll never forget it. It was February 14th that he did that, February 14th. And he walked in. I thought he was coming to take me to lunch or something. I had some flowers and, I'm not a flower person, but he would have brought some flowers. He came up to tell me that he had just quit his 20-year job at the Postal Service. Now, mind you, I couldn't tear up and wreck the office like I wanted to, like everything that was just going on inside of me and the words that wanted to kind of that were welling up in me that wanted to come forward, but they didn't. And I just said, really? And then on top of that, that's not all of it. In the course of this day, he had left his job and he had gone down to the local BMW dealership and drove off the lot with a BMW 6 Series at that time. I'm like, okay. So needless to say, I was not very happy because we did not have the conversation that needed to be had. And that kind of brought some discourse in between that. And in between all of that, this was in between that 15 years that I mentioned in the introduction about me being selfish. And so now when he makes a decision to do something, now I'm saying, well, I needed you to do this way, and boom, 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 boom. And granted, there was a way to do it. And now that we reflect on it, he realizes that there was a better way to handle it. And if he were to do that again in the future, we would have a conversation. So when I'm talking about major decisions that will impact the household, decisions that will impact the home, they impact the children, they impact what happens in the marriage, it's only fair that you have a conversation. And if you disagree, if there's a disagreement, try to keep talking it out until you get to a point that you're able to accept and live with it. Because sometimes, and ladies, I'm going to speak to the ladies, sometimes we just have to trust. If we're trusting God, we have to trust that God is leading our husbands as he's leading the family. And we have to trust that whatever decision that he's making is going to be the right decision. We may not see everything through because for ladies, everything has to be about security. The paycheck, where's this coming from? How am I going to do this, that, and the other? But sometimes God doesn't show him all the picture. And so he can't show you all of the picture. So we kind of have to be understanding. I have an example of someone that I encountered on my job last year where this person, they were struggling financially in their marriage and they only had one car and he was working hard and they were saving money for something, I'm not sure what. And one day he gets home from work and she went and bought a car with the money from the savings account. He was a little devastated and he was trying to be supportive, but I know that really hurt him that she just disrespected him in a way that she didn't feel the need to have the conversation with him. So that's what I'm talking about. So just think about when you're ready to make some decisions or do major purchases, that it's only fair that you have a conversation with your spouse. And um, just that's just not a good thing, because that can really kind of sow some discord. That's really difficult to kind of come back from. And so I told you this one's going to be short, so I'm looking forward to you joining me on the next one. This one's going to be really good. This one is extended family expectations. Ooh, child, we can ready to talk about the family. Lord have mercy. I look forward to seeing you joining me in the next video. Bye bye.